Hi everyone, welcome back. Welcome back to the second season's first episode of Random Conversation. I know हमने बहुत time ले लिया. We were supposed to do something like this in the month of August, but here we are in September. Sorry for the delay, but we have a very first guest whose name is Parth, and Parth is a young writer. So hi Parth,
Hi Vinita, how are you?
I'm good. How are you?
So far so good.
सो पार्थ आई नो तुमने बहुत सारे तुमने अभी दो बुक अपनी लॉन्च कर लिए हाउ डज इट फील्स आई स्टार्ट फ्रॉम देयर
It feels so validating, honestly speaking. बहुत validating लगता है कि okay, I have published two books, sales अच्छी चल रही है. I usually don't care about sales, but when the sales number is in your hand and you see that अरे सही में बहुत अच्छी चल रही है, and these things happen. But again on the other hand, मेरी मम्मी when I told her कि मम्मी book publish हो गई है, बोलते चलो वाह वाह कॉन्ग्रेचुलेशंस पढ़ाई पे ध्यान दे अब सो
हाँ
हाँ सो शी इज लाइक ज्यादा उड़ो मत शी विल ऑलवेज मेक मी कि पढ़ाई करनी है तेरे को
शुड ऑलवेज बी लाइक यू नो कि अपने ग्राउंड पे रख अपने पैर उड़ना मत ज्यादा
हाँ 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 वो थोड़े पंख अभी भी निकले हैं बट once I get in once I get to home and then बात होती है and then she was like पढ़ाई कैसी चल रही है मैंने बोला मम्मी मैंने तो बुक का टॉपिक निकाला था
होता है मतलब आई थिंक मेरा बहुत डिफरेंट रिएक्शन था जब मैंने बोला घर पे फर्स्ट ऑफ ऑल सो माय फैमिली न्यू दैट आई वाज राइटिंग अ बुक बट दे डिड नॉट न्यू कि किसके बारे में लिखा है सो आई नेवर टोल्ड देम मैं हमेशा उनको सिर्फ बोलती थी दैट दैट बुक लिख रही हूँ इट्स एन ऑटोबायोग्राफी बुक 12 टॉपिक्स होंगी इतना सो आई नेवर टोल्ड देम कि इन डिटेल क्या होगी ठीक है तो उस दिन जब मैंने फाइनली पब्लिश कर दिया आई गॉट द मेल्स ओके कि पब्लिश हो गई मैं तो सबसे पहले अमेजोन पे खुद जाके देखा है फिर खुद की बुक खुद ऑर्डर करी ताकि देखने को दैट इफ इट्स वर्किंग
दैट इज एक्चुअली गुड थिंग बिकॉज मतलब जब तुमको मेल आता है कि फाइनली योर बुक इज पब्लिश्ड एंड इतना ग्रेटिफाइंग लगता है कि मतलब
बहुत
वाओ कुछ तो किया है अब
हाँ कुछ तो किया है मतलब इट वाज सैटरडे मॉर्निंग ठीक है समवेयर अराउंड 7 o'clock कि मैं सुबह पता नहीं जल्दी उठ गई वीकेंड्स को एंड देन आई सॉ 5 मेल्स फ्रॉम नोशन प्रेस एंड द फर्स्ट मेल मैंने ओपन करके देखा हुआ कि कॉन्ग्रेचुलेशन योर बुक इज पब्लिश्ड मैंने वही मेल फिर वही मेल सबको फॉरवर्ड करा जितने भी मेरे कॉन्टैक्ट्स में है आई
इनफैक्ट
पर्सनली वेंट ऑन अमेजोन ऑफिस का लिंक सबको भेजा एंड देन फिर तो मैंने कहा मैंने फिर सबको कॉल्स किया मैंने सबको उठाया है पता है माय फ्रेंड्स वर लाइक स्लीपी लाइक अ लॉट एंड ऑल पर मैंने सबको उठा दिया गाइस बुक पब्लिश हो गई जाके खरीदो ऐसे करके
इनफैक्ट आई रिमेम्बर when my second book got published. So now I'm in my ultimate year. So our engineering placement season is going on, and I was in Infosys pre-placement talk,
अच्छा
and I got the mail कि congratulations, your new book for Soulful Mamas has been published, and soon it will be listing. So I
हम्म
was like कि अब सामने प्री-प्लेसमेंट टॉक चल रहा है I am here looking at this, and then I'm the person close to me, my friend Atul. I told him, भाई publish हो गई, भाई publish हो गई. तो बोलते हैं, बोला भाई अच्छा publish हो गई क्या? Then he was like, so I think throughout the year when you're working for something, and suddenly when that work is done, you are getting the results, you are getting the outcomes. तुम suddenly cloud nine पे रहते हो.
ऑफ कोर्स मेरे को 10 महीने लग गए थे ऑलमोस्ट 9-10 months टू राइट द बुक री राइट द बुक सो जब वो फाइनली देखा हर्ष लिस्टिंग हो गई है विदाउट एनीथिंग आई लाइक बस अब आई वेंट आउट एंड सेलिब्रेटेड लाइक बाहर में आई एम नॉट सेलिब्रेटिंग विद पीपल आई एम गोइंग आउट एंड सेलिब्रेटिंग अलोन
एंड व्हेन माय सेकंड बुक गॉट पब्लिश सो अनलेस अंटिल जब वो हाथ में आता है तब तक सेलिब्रेट करने का भी मन नहीं करता एक्चुअली
हम्म
जब तुम्हारे पास हार्ड कॉपी आती है सो जब मेरे पास हार्ड कॉपी आई एंड दैट वाज आल्सो हार्ड कवर ऑफ माय बुक ओके
या
सो सो दैट इज अनदर गुड थिंग जैसे आई टोल्ड माय पेरेंट्स तो देन आई सेड मम्मा पापा आई एम ऑर्डरिंग अ केक फॉर माई सेल्फ
या
and
यू
I
शुड
ordered cake for myself and I enjoyed that kick. ठीक है. फिर अगले दिन याद है, okay, I need to go for file checking and assignments.
यही होती है लाइक एक स्टूडेंट की लाइफ जहाँ पे एक टाइम पे तो अपना एक बुक पब्लिश कर रहे बट एट द सेम टाइम यू हैव प्लेसमेंट्स यू हैव गॉट एग्जाम्स
Yeah.
थ्योरीज थीसिस but I think what one thing we are missing out here is I don't think everybody knows your introduction. So Parth, please अपने आप को इंट्रोड्यूस करिए.
Okay, so my name is Parth Khajgiwale. I am from Brahmapuri, a small town near Nagpur. Not so small, ठीक है ना. वहाँ पे अमूल आ चुका है, डोमिनोज भी था. So हाँ, not so small town. And I am a writer because earlier when I used to say I am a writer, people usually don't believe exactly what you do. ठीक है. But now that two books got published, so guys, I am a writer, please, and do buy Soulful Murmurs.
Yeah, do buy it. It's really nice book. यार मैं ना पहले खुद को राइटर बोलती थी, फिर लोगों ने मेरे को करेक्ट करा that you should say author. Now you've published a book, so say author. So I would say
Yeah,
कि
but
you're an author now.
I won't say author because then people will only see me as a book person, like one who wrote a book.
Hmm.
They'll not read my content on Instagram I publish or on
Hmm.
the Tumblr, on everywhere I publish. They'll see, okay, he has published an book. So I think we should read his book. Content तो ठीक है book में भी है. So I
Hmm.
don't believe that. I
Okay.
personally believe calling myself as a writer because if you are an author, तो you are a writer. ठीक है. But if you are a writer, then you are not an author. But I want to say that okay, I am a writer. Before being author, I was also a writer. So please call me as a writer.
But to put writer or author in front of your name, it's a very sexy designation. So बहुत मजा आता
हाँ,
है जैसे तुम
एक्चुअली बहुत
इंट्रोड्यूस
अच्छा
कर
लगता है.
like
एंड जब तुम इंस्टाग्राम के नीचे तुम्हारा आता है ओके राइटर ऐसे टैग.
yeah, it's amazing. I know, but then so these days, जब like book published हो गई, so these days I do one thing whenever somebody asks me that what do you do, the first thing I tell them is guys I'm a writer. मैंने book
या
publish करी
दैट्स ट्रू.
है and I own a company. तो बहुत मजा आता है पता है पहले होता था कि हाँ नहीं you cannot call yourself a writer because you've not published something, but now I'm like fuck it, I just have it like this now.
In fact, it's more like a passive marketing.
Yeah.
Okay, you are a writer. Oh, you have written a book. Okay, I'll search
Yeah.
it for. I did this a lot.
सही है सही है. So Parth, for this first podcast of us, I really have a lot of questions for you because
Mhm.
one writer connects another writer, so I've got
True.
ample of questions. Are you ready for the first one?
कौन
नहीं
सा
यार इतने
पूछो.
बकवास नहीं होंगे हेलो.
नहीं नहीं. I'm just when you said you are ready for it, I'm like okay, marathon of questions.
Yeah, and it starts with first. Okay, so the first question is, what inspired you to start writing, and when did you realize first that this is your passion?
So honestly, nothing inspired me to writing. Okay.
Nothing.
Yeah, nothing. Honestly speaking,
Okay.
it's just me articulating my thoughts.
Mm,
Okay,
the
so when
writer
I was
has
in
born.
yeah, true. So when I was in seventh, eighth grade, मैं तब से लिख रहा हूँ.
Oh,
But
nice.
yeah, and the thing is, my brother is 8 years elder than me.
Okay.
So and he was from the same school. So एक रहता है ना जब बड़े सिबलिंग्स सेम स्कूल में रहते हैं तो उनकी एक्सपेक्टेशंस ऑटोमेटिकली हम पे आती है ऐसे कि
Mm-hmm.
अरे तुम्हारा भाई तो ऐसे था तुम कैसे हो इधर.
हाँ
So
हाँ हाँ same.
I and he used to write articles for our college school magazine.
Okay.
And he is also very good at writing, I must tell you. So up I felt that okay, he has set a bar, maybe I cannot touch it. So I kept writing in the MS Word because by the time I was not exposed to internet kind of thing. So I was not having any Google Docs and also I was writing in MS Word and just keeping it on a side of folder. ठीक है, सो मैंने बोला अब इसी से कंटिन्यू करते हैं. देन वंस आई वाज डन विद माय ऑल दिस थिंग्स, 11th 12th I had my GE preparation and all. Once I was done with the thing, Instagram came to my life.
Mm-hmm.
So I think there also I started with a very unknown name, which was Thoughts of Nerd.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah. So I used
Okay.
to write over there.
Uh-huh.
मैं रैंडम पोस्ट करता था ऑन द रैंडम डे. ठीक है. And for someone with 5 following number, and then suddenly after 3 months you get 800 followers organically. So that was like, okay, अब ये अच्छी फील्ड है, इसमें कुछ करना पड़ेगा. And by the time, writing was more like a venting mechanism for me.
Mm-hmm.
Even now, what I feel I write, but I never thought, okay, this will take this turn.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
So eventually, when I got good recognition on Instagram, then I changed the Thoughts of Nerd to Parth Khajgiwale, and then posted my face as a profile picture. And then I said, okay, now I can go for it. So eventually, then I built a community where I engage with lot of writers, gain lot of insights, and now I feel like, okay, this is a good thing. I am enjoying this process. I'm enjoying the outcome of this process. So why not? Let's continue with it.
Yeah. And for the people who don't know his ID, आप लोग Instagram पे जाके search कर सकते हो. It's verse virtues, or you can just search path also, and you'll get a very different DP जो उसने बहुत recently change करी है. He's got a really good following of more than 25K. So please go and follow him after this podcast.
Please do
See,
follow,
promotion
guys,
कर रही हूँ
and
मैं तेरी.
last minute course को भी follow करो.
Promotion चल रहा है हमारा यहाँ पे. Okay. The next question that I have for you is, can you tell us about your writing routine? Do you have any?
Uh, I don't have any specific writing routine to follow. Like if I wake up, I have to write something like that. It's not like that.
Mm-hmm.
Oftentimes it happen if I'm in the class, I'll write. Even in the
Oh,
class.
मतलब lectures इतने boring है तेरे.
नहीं, मेरे thoughts इतने अच्छे हैं.
Okay, okay, fine.
So yeah, soulful murmurs खरीदो.
पता चल जाएगा कितनी अच्छी
Thoughts
memory है.
कैसे अच्छे. So
Okay.
I don't have any specific writing routine, but when I feel like I want to write, I'll write.
Hmm.
It's
That is
not like
important.
yeah, because you're not sure, because इतने thoughts आते रहते हैं mind में कि यार उसके बाद it's very difficult,
It's
actually very
difficult.
difficult कि remember कि उस वक्त क्या thought आया था उसको कैसे articulate करना है.
Exactly.
But
Yeah.
one thing I would include in my writing routine, which is very personal, is journaling before I sleep
Every day.
every day.
I try a lot to do it every day. मेरे से नहीं होता है. Then when I really want to talk is the day I'll finally remove the diary and I'll just start journaling. But it's true, पता है, because if I ask this question to anybody, writer, or anybody who just scribbles also, they'll tell me that they don't have a pattern, they don't have a routine. मतलब if I just talk about myself, at times it has been कि मैं रात के 12 मतलब I'm sleeping and then there's something like going on in my thought, and then there's something that I want to write, so I'll wake up, I'll put on the study table light, and then I'll just start writing on it, and then close the book and then just keep it. So if you read the book, there's this, I think, notebook is one of the chapter जहाँ पे मैंने लिखा है कि कैसे मैं रात के 12 बजे अपने बुक्स को डिस्टर्ब करती थी, एक चैप्टर खत्म करती थी, एंड देन आई यूज्ड टू स्लीप.
Also,
So
there is one more
free verse is very
chapter of
nice.
yours, handwritten letters.
या उसमें भी है. तो
So I think that is one of your routine that you always mention.
हाँ, मतलब, see, I don't think specifically for creators or creative people or artists, उनके पास कोई routine होता है. They just want to write when they want to write, and then they just get over with it. So it is nice. But कोई कोई होता है कि professional writers उनकी एक habit होती है कि they'll
Hmm.
write it something like that. तो हमारा तो वैसा है कि हम 6 महीने लिखते हैं, फिर 6 महीने गायब हो जाते हैं, या फिर 3 साल तक गायब हो जाते हैं. So
True,
I
true.
can understand. This is nice. Okay.
Absolutely right.
The next question I have for you is, एक second, yeah. Okay, Pat. The next question that I have for you. Okay, this is nice. What's your creative process like when you start writing a new story or a project?
Okay, so when I say as writer, people assume that I'm a fictional writer. Okay,
Okay.
but
Okay.
yeah, and fictional चल रहा है अभी ट्रेंड में.
हाँ, बहुत चल
तो
रहा
people assume that I'm a fictional writer, but actually I'm not. अभी इस साल बट इस साल से मैंने थोड़ा सोचा है कि थोड़ा कुछ लिखो ऐसे स्टोरीज फिक्शनल वगैरह.
है.
But when I say about a creative process, I'll just go out. I'll just walk out of
Like,
my room
okay.
and roam around. I have a like very good campus, I must tell you. So I'll sit in the greenery. I'll just think, okay, damn. Then I'll just have a very ऐसे thoughts चलते रहेंगे, बहुत चलेंगे thoughts. Then I'll see people around me. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
so with by their conversations, by their behavior, I think I can derive certain aspects of my story. So
Okay.
maybe whatever I listen or whatever they behave, maybe ऐसा हो कि वो मेरे कैरेक्टर्स बन जाए स्टोरी के अंदर.
Hmm.
So that is one thing. But as I don't write much about like fictional, so I also write something poetry and all. And that time I just go to like for a walk, a normal 15 to 20 minutes walk. I'll see really good people. Like maybe there is a couple, and father son duo. So I see
Mm-hmm.
them. Okay, then I come to know. Okay, this is a good aspects of someone's life. I can write about it. So for me, start of a creative process is take a walk.
Okay. And then you like observe the environment and then you just like
I
start
observe a
writing.
lot. Yeah,
Okay. Observer
but
है मतलब.
there, हाँ मैं बहुत बड़ा ऑब्जर्वर हूँ.
Okay.
बट मैं फूडी भी हूँ. तो unless until I have a food with myself,
You cannot
so
start.
observe. हाँ मैं मेरे से नहीं होने वाला.
Okay. So मतलब you need a snack, you need
Yeah,
outside,
yeah.
and then you need a book and pen and you'll start writing.
I am not a book and pen person, uh, because वो तो सिर्फ जर्नलिंग में होता है. But
Okay. So you like you record it?
I write it in notepad of my phone.
Ah, okay. Okay. Great. मतलब I don't have a routine. So what the thing so I write quotes also, okay, if you've seen it.
Last minute
I
quotes.
write free verse poems also. So
Mhm.
what happens with me is जब quotes की बारी होती है there's a small word that rings in my head or is just stuck in my head तो वो घूमते रहता है so it has to come out so if it's a word that's stuck in my brain it will get out a quote ठीक है but if it's a sentence that's stuck in my head वो chapter बन के बाहर आएगा that's the only difference and
Great,
फिर
great.
तो
I think
like I
that is
write
an important aspect of a writer. कि
hmm,
मतलब with a given statement or given word, you can just write entire chapter.
yeah फ्री स्टाइलिंग बहुत इंपॉर्टेंट होता है पता है लिखने के लिए
और
बट ऑफ
फ्री
कोर्स
वर्स
यू नीड
चल आजकल
एक्सपीरियंस
ट्रेंडिंग है फ्री वर्स.
हाँ बट आई थिंक उसको एक्सपीरियंस चाहिए होता है टू राइट सो मच फ्री वर्स एंड ऑल
Yeah,
बिकॉज you need to be good with words don't you think
good with words, and also how you articulate them in such a way कि everyone feels that it is relevant to them.
हाँ I agree okay uh, how do you handle writer's block or moments when you feel your creativity is stuck
Okay, so I have a biggest fear
mm-hmm.
that someday I'll wake up in the morning and I realize that I'll have zero creativity in me. So that's my
That is
phobia.
scary.
Yeah,
That is
that is
scary.
scary, and that will happen like a death. For someone like us, it will like a death. So that is one of the most scariest fear I have. But when you say that how to deal with writer's block, I often have writer's block.
Hmm.
But I do something like I write about that block.
Okay.
So let's
Interestingly.
say, yeah, let's say I am in a moment when I feel like I don't want to write anything. Then I'll take up my phone, I'll write in notepad, and I'll say why I don't want to write anything. So
That
I'll
becomes a
rant about it. I'll rant
hmm.
about it. So I think that is my way of dealing writer's block. But again, it's a very subjective thing here.
Yeah, I love that part जहाँ तूने बोला कि it's so fear for a creative person or an artist जहाँ पे they wake up suddenly and then there's no creativity. I mean, the essence of living only would be dead for those people like us.
Yeah. Plus, after recognition as a writer, and then you realize that you don't have any creativity. So वो एक बहुत ही
Yeah.
डरावना सपना है. Let's not discuss about it, please.
But I mean, it is a nice topic, but yes, it's a scary topic as well. Okay. The next question I have is: are there any themes or subjects that you find yourself drawn to repeatedly in your writing?
So I write about self isolation, love, and finding peace in that isolation a lot
Okay.
because these are the things like past 1.5 year is a bit traumatic for me, so I just don't want to discuss about it. But now when I look back, I feel like okay, this was a traumatic phase, but that is now lesson for me.
Hmm.
So अब मैं अब self isolation, because that was time when everyone isolated me. Now I self isolate. So हाँ मतलब now when I say about self isolation, I find peace in that. And when I say about love, love is something I crave for, like every other person. So I think that is one aspect of me. When I write something about self isolation, I I am actually into the self isolation zone.
Okay.
So no matter someone sitting in front of me, I don't know. I am not aware of that person, but still I am writing about something I don't know.
Okay.
As you
Are you an
mentioned about the
overthinker?
writer's block,
Yeah. Are you an
I
overthinker?
am I am an overthinker. क्योंकि राइट आफ्टर दिस पॉडकास्ट आई विल से यार मैंने अच्छे से तो पॉडकास्ट दिया ना, शुड आई आस्क हर टू रीटेक द पॉडकास्ट, सो या दिस विल हैपन, ओके. यू विल श्योरली रिसीव अ मैसेज.
Okay. Okay. Don't worry, we won't retake it. It's going nice. Okay. The next is that how do you develop your character, or do you ever find them surprising you?
So developing of a character, as I mentioned, I just walk out and see the behavior of the people. I just observe the
Hmm.
behavior of people. So I think that's how I develop characters if I write anything fictional. But
Hmm.
I find them bit surprising again, because those characters are very self-contradicting to me, at least, because I learn from the behavior of people. I consider them as a character of my story, and then I think, okay, these are not my characters. These are someone else's characters. I am just articulating them.
Okay.
So I feel like it's more like a self-contradicting. I feel like surprising at certain extent, but end of the day, then I have to convince myself, okay, it's a fiction. As you mentioned that and mentioned that I am an overthinker. So yeah, end of the day, once I'm done with my writing, I'll overthink over that writing as well.
Oh, okay. Okay. Um, for me, so I'll tell you this. A lot of people don't know. This is not the first book that I've published. I've published an ebook before also, जो fictional story है. And Path, trust me,
Oh,
it's got 80 chapters. It's got 80
80
chapters.
chapters.
80 chapters.
Share,
It's there
share me
online.
share me your book later on, please.
Yeah, I will. And so
Also
I was
mention it in the podcast. Also mention it in a podcast, please.
okay, fine. Let me talk about it. So, I was 18 when I started writing that book. And
Okay.
so, for me, particularly in my life, I want for to happen some things at a certain age. So, like be it the company opening or be it writing the book, तो मेरे अंदर वो कीड़ा था that at the age of 18, I want to publish my book no matter what. So there's this platform called Wattpad, if you know. It's a really
Came across
nice
it.
fictional place to write. So वहाँ पे I used to write it. And I used to write it and I used to publish it. Okay, so no checking and all, see the publish it. So I made a pact with myself that before my birthday, before June, we'll publish 40 chapters. मेरी जो वाट लगी है वो 40 chapters publish होने में, and then I think for 10 months I disappeared, and then after 10 months I came back and wrote the next 40 chapters of it. ठीक है, so इतनी मेरी मेहनत लग, so it went around like I was in my first year of my college when the whole thing was happening, and finally the book is there. It's called The Youngest Billionaire. So
Okay.
at times when I used to write it, half of the characters have surprised me that हमारी thought process कहाँ तक पहुँच सकती है when it comes to fictional. That and the fun fact is that every fictional character I used to put myself in the shoes. That अगर मैं उस जगह होती या फिर अगर मैं एडवर्ड की जगह होती, what would I have done, or how would I have reacted. So it gets funny, but at the time when you write so much, it does surprises you so much in the characters and all.
I think when you mentioned that you put yourself in that shoe, so same way, if I do so, I find that self-contradicting because again, I learn from people. Because if I write about me, I feel that I'll be more vulnerable to everyone.
Yeah, वो तो है. That is there. Okay.
So even if
Uh,
I write something, I'll write in a very third person perspective.
fictional characters या फिर fictional books में जरूरत तो रहती है. Yeah, that is there.
Yeah.
Okay. I'll take a stop here and I'll ask you
Hmm.
to please share a bit about your latest work and what motivated you to write. I have the book.
Okay. Okay. Vinita is very good girl. I must tell you, she's a really good person.
सीधा
She bought
खरीद लिया
my
मैंने.
book. हाँ सीधा खरीद लिया.
Okay.
So
Tell me.
again, my second book, which is my latest work, titled "Soulful Murmurs Verses from Unspoiled Heart." So as subtitle says it all, that it's more like a inner innocence. And in the previous segment of this podcast, I mentioned that I had a very traumatic phases in past 1.5 year, right? So I feel like I lost some part of me
In that.
in
Okay.
those phases. And then I came up with this book. I came up with this book with the hope that whatever I'm writing, whatever free verses, whatever poems, whatever narratives I'm writing, are the prayers to find that lost part of me,
Okay.
to call that lost part of me. So that now when I was in the process of writing that book, I felt like okay, I'm healing, I'm getting back to my original zone.
Nice. It's nice.
So that is the only way I like came up with this idea.
यार इसके जो contents है, like the headers of it is so perfect. Like this is, so the 12th one is I'm rich. Okay.
Okay.
Nostalgia for youth, fragile strength. एक था that I really loved is wait, I think it's somewhere. Okay, rain in the mist of summer. I read the first sentence, okay, of the poem and I'm like, oh my god, इतना deep लिखा है इस इंसान ने. So, any favorite of yours in all this 39 poetries?
uh, I would not specify anyone because
I know.
that will be just to my own work. But again, the one which I enjoyed a lot is the first one, Ma We Are Not
Ma, we are
Late.
not you.
Yeah, because this is the process I enjoyed. I cried. I regretted writing this later on, but then I felt like okay, this is a really good thing that I have written till now.
And uske baad, the next headline is I cried that day. Were you mentioning about that day?
अब हर चीज थोड़ी बताऊंगा पॉडकास्ट
Okay.
में।
Got it.
वल्नरेबल थोड़ी होना है मुझे।
Got it. Got it. ठीक है. Next question that I have for you is, are there any writers or books that you have profoundly influenced your style of approaching to writing?
uh, surprisingly, there are none. Okay. Uh, just because I feel like everyone has a unique style of writing.
Hmm.
So, no matter what I read, that should not influence my style of writing. So,
Agree.
I read your book.
Yeah.
Every chapter has its own style, and it says that okay, this book is written by Vinita. But
Okay,
some
my
of my
style.
favorite. Sorry.
My style. The book is
Yeah.
my style.
Yeah. But when I say about the books and the authors, I have few with me, and I always carry these books because I suggest them. Whosoever I meet, I just suggest them ki do read this book. So they okay, I'll buy. Okay, don't buy. I have with me. I'll give it to you. So
Borrow कर ले मेरे
uh,
से.
हाँ borrow कर ले यार मुझसे तू इतना लेट मत कर. So first one I would say Whispers from a Grave by Tamanna Sharma. Okay, so this book actually inspired me. I mean, I not a book, but the author, because you won't believe this author is a 17-year-old girl.
Whispers from a
Okay,
grave.
yeah. So when I read her free verses, when I read her poetry, I felt like okay, I stand nowhere close to her.
Is it the poem? The whole book?
It's yeah, completely about poetry.
Oh, okay. I thought पूरी fictional होगी.
नहीं नहीं वही तो सो व्हेन आई टोल्ड यू अर्लियर अबाउट दिस वाज फ्रॉम गिर dude this girl is damn मतलब when you look up to someone and then you come to know okay she is junior to you in age
Hmm.
but senior to you in your work so then there is a huge respect.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. होता है.
Second book I have is by Divya Prakash Dubey, uh, Yaar Papa.
Okay.
So, okay, this was my New Year resolution that I'll start Hindi literature or Hindi books this year. And this was the first book, and I love reading it. Matlab, you'll see every muhavra was used in such a manner कि you can relate it in line.
मेरी हिंदी
And
खराब है. रहने दे.
yeah, and that's why I started reading this year. Okay, and
Okay.
somehow this book fixed my Hindi as well, and I started writing in Hindi.
Okay. Hmm.
So, and this is one aspect of me starting writing in Hindi. But another aspect is like my elder sister, her name is Pallavi Joshi. So she writes really good in Hindi. And
Have you
then,
tried writing Hindi?
yeah, I write, I still write. I get feedbacks as well.
Are you going to publish it?
No,
Okay.
I'll
क्यों?
not publish it because I feel like someone can tolerate my Hindi or only my people.
Okay. Okay.
And second book, as I said, just because I crave for love, I mentioned earlier. So this is the book, 40 Rules of Love by Elif Shafak. This is also a good book. Why I like this book? Because this gave me another perspective to look at the love and
Okay.
setting up certain boundaries when you're in relationship or when you love someone.
Hmm. Nice.
So
मतलब,
I
so
think
so is it like when you roam around the places, these three books are there in your bag
I have
always?
five actually. I'm yet to complete.
Fine. Okay, I'm
Yeah.
sorry.
Another is Samsara by Saksham Garg.
Nice
And this
title.
is, and I must tell you, it's actually mentioned by one of the journalist that it's in India's reply to Harry Potter.
Oh, okay.
Okay, so
Okay.
this is something fictional, but it's based on Hindu. So I'll read the title for you: Samsara, Enter the Valley of the Gods.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so this is entire fictional book, but what I love about is like कहीं भी कोई offend नहीं होगा इस book से.
Okay.
So I find this book is very very good book if someone is getting into fiction, because
So,
every chapter is like edge of the seats wala thing.
so when you said ki it's the Indian version or the Hindi version of Harry Potter, matlab, how is it? Like, की stories similarity hai ya फिर क्या?
It's in not Hindi version. It's India's reply to Harry Potter. So
Explain
it's
करना चाहोगे?
so we have seen Harry Potter in books and in movies and all, right? But this is something different. People say, okay, Harry Potter was too good. I must tell
Hmm.
you, read Samsara, please. Whosoever says Harry Potter was too good, read Samsara.
Okay. Okay.
And
Acha, okay. In that aspect, you're saying. Okay.
yeah, like you'll come to know there are minds from India as well who can write brilliant book and that can actually compete with Harry Potter.
There are, like, one of my favorite writer, Indian writer, is Ruskin Bond. But
Okay.
like any chapter of it is so beautifully written. And I've got 3 to 4 books of Ruskin Bond. That's my favorite writer from
Okay.
India.
So Saksham Garg made Ruskin Bond. And even Ruskin Bond appreciated this book.
Okay, I must read this now.
Now you
If
should read
he,
it.
I must read this. Yeah, I
And
will. I will.
when I say about brilliant minds we have in terms of literary work, one I cannot forget is inanimate voices, inanimate monologues, 12 voices, 12 lives by Vinita Khadka.
Guys, this is
So
not promotion. Okay, मैंने नहीं बोला उसका ये बोलने के लिए.
मैं बीटीएस शेयर करूंगा तूने बोला था मुझे बोलने के लिए no it's not nothing like that what I love about this book is the perspective even I
Okay,
have
wait. Let
my
me hear my
junior.
tarif. Okay.
Okay, I have my junior, so I told him we used to hang out a lot, and every night he come to my room. We used to talk a lot. We have a good conversations, and then suddenly he saw, "Bhaiya, which book is that?" And I was like, "Yaar, it's a book from one of my very fellow writers. You should read this." And then he randomly took a chapter which was the racket. Oh no, it
Okay.
was the handwritten letter. And then he thought, damn, इस direction में भी लोग सोच सकते हैं क्या? And I really appreciate that because I am being a sneakerhead and I love the shoes wala chapter a lot.
Yeah, I
So
mean, मेरे को याद है
again,
when you mentioned
if
about it to me.
someone is buying Soulful Murmurs, please buy this as well.
एक काम करते हैं, हैम्पर में दे देंगे. Like, if you buy this, you have to
Ha-
buy that.
yes, coffee with Karan, wine with Vinita.
Oh God. Okay. Um, where was I? Forgot the questions only now. Okay. How do you balance writing with other aspects of your life? And do you have any tips for maintaining the balance?
Sir, last 6 months, though I got in last 6 months, I don't have to struggle a lot of managing things because for social media and all this publication, I got my manager. But before that, it was hectic for me. So, one tip I can give to anyone, and that I followed as well, is like prioritizing your task with respect to time. If I have 10 assignments in my pipeline and I have tried something which is very important to me, what I'll do, I'll just prioritize things with respect to time, which what is important, what is the deadline of each thing, and based on that, we can just prioritize thing and balance it. I think that's the best I can do.
Great.
How you like look at it?
So, very recently, I think I have started practicing this. So I was a workaholic, like last year,
Mhm.
say pehle. all my life, I was a very
Mm-hmm.
workaholic. Okay, so 15, 12, 15 hours was nothing for me to work, and so proper workaholic, a corporate person. But recently, I've realized. So what I try to practice in my day is, in a week I work 4 days. Like I'll work, and then one day I have a creative day for myself. So, apart from my company
Okay.
or apart from writing and all, I'll maybe roam around, or, I'll practice something different. I'll learn a new language.
And that day you will not even touch the office work and anything.
I don't. Like,
Damn,
even if there
that's
are
actually
calls
good
coming,
practice.
yeah, I mean, even if there are call coming, there are clients coming, I'm like, guys, tomorrow. The work would be done tomorrow. I'm quite packed up today, so I don't let that affect me. So ये मैं आजकल practice करने की कोशिश करती हूँ, and then weekends I'm not there. So the
Okay.
only time I just work is from Monday to Thursday, and then Saturday Sunday I'm out. Friday is my creative day. But I think I tell this to my friends also, that in a week there should be at least one creative day for yourself, where you
True.
explore a lot of things about yourself, like be it writing, be it painting, be it just like relaxing, be it giving yourself a mental peace zone. It's really important. I understand Monday to Friday तुम लोग काम करते रहते हो, but one day of the weekend, like Saturday Sunday के बीच में एक दिन, if you can just remove some time for yourself, the balance is there only. And trust me, बहुत मजा आता है. I was so happy. I learned something about YouTube only, and
I
I was
think
like,
I think I should
"Mega."
learn. I should practice this. I'll soon
You
practice
should.
this now.
I'm telling you, you'll thank me. It's a really good habit. It balances your, work life and creative side, so that it does not get skilled at the end of the day. Because for us,
Mm-hmm.
हमें चाहिए ही होता है वो.
True, yeah,
Okay.
true.
Uh, what's your opinion on the current state of the publishing industry, and how do you see it evolving?
यार पब्लिशिंग इंडस्ट्री तो मेरे को सही में बहुत फैसिनेटिंग लगती है अब जाके मैं बोलूंगा तो because earlier it used to happen that you have to write something, you write a sample chapter of your manuscript, author's bio, the background, and then it will go to the publication, and then they'll take something 3 to 6 months of reviewing.
Hmm.
By the time, rather you'll wait for the reply to come, or you'll apply for more publication, right? And you don't know the outcome, whether it will get selected or rejected.
Right.
So now when I see जो हमारा publication है, we both have a same publication actually, which is an ocean press. They provided a very good platform, that they provided an author dashboard, they provided an entire template, because people struggle with template a lot,
Yeah.
and with the spacing and all, whether it will be like the alignment after publishing. So I think that is gap filled by the Notion Press, and like every other publication, they have mentioned certain points, like what one should mention in their manuscript and not. So by
Hmm.
setting certain boundaries and the accessibility to the resources, I think current state of publication industry is the really good, and it is giving opportunity to everyone, I would say.
It is. It is. I mean, I think पहले क्या होता था, to be a writer, you need to have a certain qualifications and all. And again, it's like going in loop with different publication house and all. So in my mentality, what my I had in the mind was, when I publish it, or when my drafts are like complete, I'm gonna send the copyright wala version to every publishing house. ठीक है.
Mhm.
So that ज़्यादा मेरे को मेहनत नहीं करनी पड़ेगी. But then I just came on the Google, I searched about it, and then I saw that there are Indian publishing houses that provide you so much transparency. I saw the templates of Notion Press. That was something that fascinated me. And I love the best part about it is, it has evolved so much that there are pointers side me, that this angle is
Yeah,
not matching, the image is not matching, can you change this and
yeah,
all, please
true,
go.
true.
I was like, a normal publishing house would have not told me, They would have maybe dumped it saying that it's not good, and then Fizzcat, I would have got a rejection mail. But then
Or
to
maybe
see,
you got a maybe you get regret after publishing कि अभी अच्छी नहीं print हुई है.
हाँ वो भी है जो
Because
कि है
earlier
मेरे को.
earlier publishing was like वो तो है ही कि rejection वाला thing, but it was also money game as well.
Exactly.
अब
And
अब चीजें थोड़ी stabilize हुई है.
हाँ, एंड मेरे को ना एक डर बहुत होता था अबाउट द कॉपीराइट इशू लाइक व्हाट इफ आई सेंड इट टू सो मेनी हाउसेस एंड देन somebody like steals my work and be like they put their name and reject my work. I can't
True.
fight back the case, right? So that transparency is now there in the publishing industries, and the
Mm-hmm.
best part about I what I liked is that uh, you don't have to do a lot of mehnat. Okay, the publishing house are
True.
doing it, and the listing is done by them. It's available in 150 countries. I don't have to like pay to every
Yeah.
e-commerce site and be like this, that, and all. So that process kitna easily. You said to me that it will get published in 32 or 72 hours, okay? And that was something I found it fish out. Like itne jaldi kaise publish ho jayega. But then when it actually got delivered in 2 days, I was like, oh my god, my book is out. So evolved बहुत हुआ है, I think so.
True.
Okay. Uh, do you prefer writing in silence? I think I've got the answer for you, but still. Do you prefer writing in silence, or do you have a specific soundtrack or music that inspires you? Do you have anything like
Uh,
that?
no, again, as I mentioned, I write in a very self-isolating zone, so I
Hmm.
prefer silence.
So, do you need like a complete khali room where
No, no,
there's no
no,
noise at
no,
all?
no.
Nothing like
As I
that.
mentioned earlier, even if someone's sitting next to me, I'll not be aware that they are present.
Okay,
I'll
you get so much
self-isolate
involved.
myself.
Acha.
Yeah,
Okay. Uh, this is something that I wanted to ask you is to what extent does association influence the creative process?
it it impacts completely. Yeah, it influences completely.
How?
I'll tell you how. Suppose I have if you came across my book, there are section called emerging voices.
Mm-hmm, yeah, yeah.
There we have give shout out to like budding authors, poets, because they might be not aware what potential they have. Okay, all they need is the right association. Okay, if they hang out with someone who are not being creative and
Hmm.
maybe into some negative aspects of their life, so they'll turn out to be that and they might lose their creativity.
Okay. Circle is important.
So
Yes.
yeah, circle is important, and it's not because just because you have to foster this community, writers community. It's more like you have to learn from them.
Hmm.
So as I mentioned, one of my junior who read your book, so we he's also very good writer, and his name is Soham Agrawal, and every in a week or in a twice or thrice a week we bring tea cake to my room, and then we have cake pe charcha. We name that is a cake pe charcha, but
Okay.
we have cake and then we say भैया, then he goes like भैया, don't you think ऐसा एक aspect रहना चाहिए? मैंने बोला रहना तो चाहिए, and then we have a like that tea cake is like that will be completed, that will be emptied in 10 minutes, but we elongate that conversation to 45 1 hour, 45 minutes 1 hour, right? So and when you have a conversation with associated people in same association in same creative space, no matter they are junior to or senior, so eventually you learn from them,
Mm, yeah.
because
Yeah.
whenever I talked with Soham, so then I realized that suddenly we swap our roles. He becomes senior in the thought process and I becomes junior at times. So I learn from him a lot. Again, when I say about emerging voices, I want to give shout out to everyone. Vishakha Deshpande, Shara Tadas, Vedant Jagtap, Arya Katre, Shravani Bante, and Sujal and Sahiti Ramadugu. These all, because when I posted it on my Instagram, so we have received near about 1,000 responses of poetry. तो
Nice.
उसमें से segregate करके they made it to this section, so I feel good for them. एंड गॉड ब्लेस कि वो आगे भी ऐसे ही करे.
Great, great. So now, when we talk about social media or influence or associations and all, uh, how important it is for like for our mental health as writers, whether they are engaged in fiction, non-fiction, or any form of creative work.
Mental health is important again because I was taking therapies. I guess it's been 6 months I was taking therapies. But again, mental health is important. Why? Because I'm not saying you have to be mentally fit to write good. I just want to say you have to be mentally clear to write good. Because when you are not in a good mental
Okay.
state, the thoughts are not organized, they are chaotic. They are a lot chaotic.
Hmm.
And you cannot articulate them
Yeah.
well. So now that I am taking break from my therapy, but one should always have a listener. And for me, I think that listener is my college professor, Professor Meenal Badguzar. So she is someone who actually sharpened my soft skills, and she's a really good listener. So whenever I feel like, I just text her, "Ma'am, is it good time to talk to you?" And then I'll go to her cabin and I'll talk to her. I'll tell her, I love telling her what's going on in my life, what I'll do next. So even she's aware about the podcast.
Okay. Okay. I mean, it is true. I think see, we are people's person, and like we are surrounded by people and all, right? But I think every person who listens need a listener. So every listener
True,
needs a listener for them who
true.
won't judge, who will just like listen to your ranking conversation, who are just there for you, and who love listening to whatever you have. So it's important to have such people. So I do have a
True.
friend of mine who loves listening to whatever it is, and then if I'm frustrated and I'm like, "Ye kharab hai, this is not done. The client is bakwas this that and all," and then she'll like, "Shant ho ja," and then but then I be like, like, am I boring you? Like, is it wrong time to talk about it? And then she's like, "No, no, I love listening about you." So it's really important to have such people in your life. I agree that.
It's true, yeah. It's true, actually true.
Hannah. Okay, so the last question, okay, the last question that I have for you is, what are your future aspirations as a writer? And is there a dream project you would love to tackle one day?
So currently for next 5 to 6 years, I'll not write anything. At least in terms of books, I'll not write.
No.
I'll keep writing, but
Mhm.
I'll take a
You won't
break for
publish.
next 5 to 6 years. And the dream project I have,
So you won't
because
publish anything?
I won't publish anything for next 5 to 6 years, yeah, for sure. But
Okay.
I'll keep fostering this community. And when you say about dream project, I do have that. I have to write a screenplay for any ad film, short film, or any film. And
Oh,
luckily, I got two offers for the same, like for the screenplay, assistant screenplay writer
nice.
and all. But again, I have academic commitments right now, so much in my plate, so couldn't make it to that. But gained the confidence that in future I'll make it.
Yeah. एक बार academic clear हो जाए, you'll have a little less on your
Huh,
plate.
because
Maybe screenplaying is something
by
else.
that by the time you will get continuous feedback on your writing as well, and maybe
Exactly.
you improve with
You'll
that.
sharpen it also.
Yeah,
Hmm.
like I said, I started writing
Great.
Hindi. As I mentioned,
Yeah.
I started writing in Hindi. For me, when I write anything, before I post it on my story or my WhatsApp status, I share it to my friend Atul. He's so great at Hindi. And then he says, अरे भाई यहाँ पे मात्रा आनी चाहिए, अच्छा यहाँ पे ये आना चाहिए. And then I say, okay, this is a good feedback, and then I incorporate. And then I think this is a throughout a learning process. So for next 5 to 6 years, I'll not publish anything, but I'll learn everything.
Great, great. Okay, Path, it was lovely talking to you. I'm done with my questions. If you have any questions for me, please hard wale mat puchna if you have. But I'm done from my side. Do you have anything for me?
I have one question for you. When's the third book
Okay.
coming of yours?
So see, I'll be
Because
honest. I'm
because see,
writing.
both are the both in the same podcast are two times author. One has to overtake the
Yeah,
marathon now.
I will. I will. You will take 5 6 years. ना उसके पहले मेरी book आ जाएगी. So
Okay,
I
I'll
am
promote it.
working on a Yeah, so I'm working on a fictional book right now. The
Mm-hmm.
I will tell you the title when the book is like the drafts is written, ठीक है? And you'll love the title. Okay, so I'm not gonna tell you right now.
For sure.
But I am writing on it, and I think 1-2 साल में वो publish हो जाएगी. It will take time because this is fictional.
Yeah, the fictional के लिए बहुत time लगेगा यार.
या बहुत टाइम लगता है
Because
एंड
when you mention about that 80 chapters wala na, I just had like I had a moment of realization कि मेरे में patience बहुत कम है.
80 मेरे को भी रियलाइज नहीं हुआ लाइक एवरीथिंग इंक्लूड करके वो 80 चैप्टर्स बना है सो एट टाइम्स व्हेन आई जस्ट हैव टू लाइक just read something else, okay, and then I just don't have to judge or something. I'll go and see my book, and honestly मैंने खुद 80 chapters वो पूरे नहीं पढ़े, but I just read the first one. I'm like, oh my god, this was a thinking at the age of 18. Were we this dumb? So all this thought process comes back to us, but yeah, 80 तो लिखे हमने.
True, yeah. I'm actually proud of you now. I can say that okay, please read this book, please. And what करते भी पढ़ो तुम लोग अब.
Yeah. Okay. I'm gonna wrap this up, but do you want to give a shout out to your book? I would love for you to just take a minute and then tell this to our audience ki it's available in Amazon, Flipkart, and different places.
Sure. So my book, Soulful Murmurs Verses from an Unspoiled Heart, is available on Amazon, Flipkart. It's also available in the ebook edition, which is a Kindle edition, and it's also available in 150 countries. So guys, please buy it, read it, because okay, thank you. Please keep it. वैसे ही रख, वैसे ही रख. So please buy it and read it, and again appreciate it if you like it, and give feedback if you don't like somewhere. So yeah,
Great, great. So thank you so much, Parth. हमारे पास like
thank you
almost
so much
recording
for
it.
having me here, yaar.
Finally, we recorded. I'm just happy for that.
Finally,
Yeah,
actually we
because
delayed by 2 weeks, right?
yeah, we did. We did. I mean, we were supposed to do it in last week of August or September, but then
Yeah,
we are sure. But finally, I'm glad that we made it,
yeah.
and it's almost like 58 minutes हमने बकवास करी है. I'm so sure कि मेरा
ठीक है,
audience
हमारे लिए तो
हो जाए.
बकवास नहीं होगी. आई थिंक इट डिपेंड्स ऑन द ऑडियंस क्या बकवास लगता है उन्हें.
आई एम सो श्योर वो सोने वाले सब सुन के हमारी podcast. But thank you so much for coming, and guys, thank you for listening. This was the first season, sorry, first episode of the second season. We'll have like this in a couple of days and weeks, I'll promise. And we'll also have Parth again. So if you want Parth to see again and listen to his bakwas giri, please let us know, and see you very soon. Thanks, Parth. If you like that video and you related to our conversation about writing, make sure to hit that subscribe button and like and share. See you on the next one.